There are moments in life that never fade, moments that wait in the dark, following you, even when you pretend they never happened. Tonight, you will hear everything. I woke up one morning in the woods and realized every tent in our campsite had moved, perfectly rearranged into a square. I should have left that day. This story doesn't end in the past. It ends 2 days ago. It happened during spring break of my junior year. My 3 closest friends and I planned a cheap car camping trip in Colorado. Money was tight, so we chose dispersed camping instead of a reservation. I found a spot through a camping app, somewhere outside Buena Vista, along a Forest Service road that seemed to stretch into forever. We reached in the late afternoon and picked a clearing beside an old, dried creek bed. The place felt empty. No campers, no tracks. Exactly the quiet we wanted. We pitched our tents in a loose cluster, maybe 15 feet apart. We had done this enough times that setup was automatic. That night, probably some beers, cards, nothing worth remembering. The morning was. I unzipped my tent, stepped out, and froze. All 4 tents had been moved, not by wind, not by animals. Moved. They stood in a perfect square around a neat stack of 4 stones. Each tent had been dragged 20 or 30 feet, but every stake was still in the ground. Everything inside was untouched. My sleeping bag, my phone, every item exactly where I left it. I yelled for the others. They all saw it. No one remembered anything. One friend said she dreamed of walking beside a lion in a desert while someone counted her steps. Another dreamed of marching in a group like military drills. The rest of us remembered nothing. The air between us felt wrong, heavy, like we shared a thought none of us wanted to say. We searched the area, found drag marks leading from where the tents had been. The marks stopped 10 feet before their new positions, as if something lifted them. The stone stack was worse, clean, deliberate, placed with intention, until one friend accidentally knocked it over. A deep rumbling rolled through the distance, like stone grinding against stone. We all heard it at the same second. No discussion, no hesitation, pure instinct. We packed in under 5 minutes and left. 5 years passed. We drifted apart. None of us ever spoke of it again. My next encounter came last summer. I was 23. My partner and I planned a small camping trip in Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina. 6 or 7 sites along a rough forest road. We arrived at sunset. Only one car was parked there, a blue sedan. My partner chose a spot at the far end where the road dead-ended. He set up, cooked sandwiches, talked by the fire. Around 10, my partner went to a water spigot to brush her teeth. I stayed by the flames. That was when I noticed someone standing at the edge of our site. Stranger from the blue sedan. He said he didn't mean to scare me. Said he was camping alone. Yet he stared with a focus that felt wrong. When my partner returned, his attention snapped to her completely. He said we chose a nice, secluded spot. Said he came here to get away from people. Here he was, standing 10 feet from our fire. I told him we were heading to bed. He left. No flashlight. Just walked into the dark. We both felt uneasy. Tried to sleep. Later that night, voices woke me. 2 people talking low near the site. The moment I unzipped the tent, they stopped. I scanned the trees with my phone flashlight. Nothing. I told myself it was nothing. I didn't tell my partner in the morning. We hiked. Next day, came back tired. That was when I saw it. A napkin tucked under my windshield wiper. A note. You should move your tent. My partner froze. We both knew who wrote it. The stranger appeared again. Same clothes, same stare. I confronted him, told him to stop coming into our site. He apologized with a flat, tense voice. Said he was checking on us. Said he had seen strange things around these woods. Campsites left abandoned, belongings untouched, people wandering at night, watching campsites. He said someone walked around his car all night. Said he was leaving before sunset. Told us to leave too. We didn't argue. We packed as fast as we could. My partner's hands shook the entire time. On the way out, we tire, clean slash, cut across the rubber, precise, intentional. He asked for a ride. My partner whispered she didn't feel safe, so I told him we couldn't. He asked us to call police when we got service. We promised we would. We drove on. 100 yards later, we saw them. 3 figures standing among the trees, not hiding, not moving, just watching. I hit the brakes. My partner screamed at me to keep going, so I drove. We reached the highway, called 911, told them everything. We never heard back. My partner believed the stranger was part of it. I didn't. Still wonder what happened to him. This last part happened 2 days ago. I am 28 now, working remote, trying to rebuild after a divorce that left everything hollow. I needed a reset, silence, isolation, so I planned a deep backcountry trip in Montana. I found mention of old unofficial sites in a forgotten forum thread, enough to point me in a direction, not enough to know what waited there. I packed for a week, food, gear, a rifle for wildlife. The first hours of the drive were easy. The last stretch wasn't. My GPS kept rerouting. The trail grew narrow, overgrown. Branches scraped the truck. Eventually, I had to stop. The air was cold still. And then I saw it. And not mine. Faded olive green, coated in mold, like it had been sitting there for decades. I called out. No answer. The zipper was slightly open. I opened it the rest of the way. A smell hit me hard, like something had died inside. But I looked. Inside, an empty sleeping bag, soup cans, a small notebook. The notebook was packed with tally marks, hundreds, groups of 7, 42 groups on the last page. 8 months of someone counting the days. I kept the notebook and set up camp across the clearing. Within sight, the moldy tent. Night came, stars bright, silence thick. I fell asleep for a while. Then a jolt, voices, whispering, 2 or 3 people, close, calm tones, conversational, in the deep woods where no one should be, felt unreal. I stayed still, listened. The whispers stopped. Footsteps circled my tent, human, deliberate. Then someone grabbed the zipper, pulled hard. It didn't open because of my safety clips. Then scratching, slow, careful, like they were testing the fabric. I shouted that I had a gun. Silence. Then the footsteps scattered. 3 different directions. I didn't sleep again. At sunrise, I stepped out with the rifle ready. The moldy tent was gone. Not pushed, not collapsed. Gone. The grass where it stood was untouched, but around my sight, footprints, bare feet, dozens, different sizes, circling my tent. Some prints sunk deep. Someone had stood there for a long time. One trail led to a pine tree. On the bark, fresh tally marks. 7 groups of 7 and the start of another. Just like the notebook. As I backed away, I noticed something dangling from a branch. A dead squirrel, tied with fishing line, hung with intention. A warning. That was enough. I packed fast, ran to the truck, and drove all the way back to town without seeing a single person behind me. I haven't called anyone. I don't know what to say. But the image of that squirrel and those footprints and the vanishing tent, it has carved itself into me. I keep thinking about the tally marks, how many days that person counted, and what might have happened if I had stayed one more night. Some stories stay with you, not because you understand them, but because you don't. If you hear whispers in the woods, if you see footprints where there shouldn't be any, leave and don't look back.